here are your hosts of Financially Tuned, Mark Fricks and Tony Shore.
Welcome to another show of Financially Tuned with me, Mark Fricks, from Master Plan Retirement Consultants, and our co-host today, as usual, Tony Shore. You know, we're really excited to have you join us today because in this show, we're going to be discussing the importance of not outliving your income in retirement. And that's a big subject, an important subject. For example, before retirement, your financial life is dictated really by a simple financial paradigm. You earn money, you save money. Occasionally, you'll mix up some funds here and there and make some changes. But once you retire, the familiar way of living changes and changes drastically because you will no longer be earning a paycheck. You will no longer be saving money. Instead, you'll be turning on the income flow. And so as our need for income carries on even after working ends, it's important to really develop a retirement strategy that can really help ensure that you have the money you need, that it's lined up correctly so that your income will not run out.
Well, yeah, that's the crux of what we talk about and what this is all about. And I know it's the biggest part of what you do for your clients day in and day out. This is the big topic. So, Mark, before we get into that, how have you been? How's your week going?
As usual, Tony, I'm having a great week. I don't have bad weeks typically. We try to keep it on the positive side.
Good.
I'm not saying bad things don't happen, but we always look at the positive and forge ahead. We had a great Social Security class last night, had about 40 people in attendance and just lots of folks coming in for appointments, want to chat with us. And also some big news, Tony. I want to mention this. My book was published this week. So our book is on the shelves. It's available.
Wow.
We don't quite have it on the website yet, but we can certainly, if someone would like to give us a call, we'll give that number later. Be glad to get a book out to you. It's really all about our philosophy, how to create a retirement roadmap, how to create income, legacy. It's all the things we do. But the great thing is, Tony, is it's written in a way that we use a lot of stories and illustrations. So it's not just a dry read. I got some great stories in there. So hopefully folks will be requesting the book. We got them in about 2 days ago, and we've already given away and sold about 25 of them. We give them away to folks that come in for meetings and folks that come into classes. Otherwise, they're sold on Amazon. We'll sell them on our website. So I think you can tell from my voice, I'm really excited.
Well, yeah, you've written a book, and I knew you were working on a book. I did not realize that it was already completed. I will have to get a copy of that. I know it's available on Amazon.com. And what's the title of the book?
Well, the title is The Road Less Traveled, and the byline is Preparing for an Excursion of a Lifetime. So it's all about that journey. And the reason we called it the Road Less Traveled is because most people don't have a retirement roadmap. They just kind of wind their way toward retirement hoping for the best. So the road that's less traveled is the planned road. And so that's kind of, I know the title's been used before, but.
Yeah, there is another book out there called The Road Less Traveled, but this one's different. This is about your finances and making it through retirement safe and happy, right?
Absolutely. That's exactly what it's about. And I hope our listeners will contact us and grab a copy of the book. We'd love to send it to them.
All right. Well, Mark, that's great. Congratulations. Is that your first book?
It is. It is our first book. And we're really excited. I've already got an idea for another one, but I'm not going to start on it yet. I'm going to take a break. So,
well, I would imagine. I know you've been working on that quite a while and very hard. I can't wait to read it. You've told me about some of the things that are in there, and really a lot of the chapters are deal with the same subjects we talk about on the show, just in a little more detail. And there's even more valuable information in those books. I really in that book. So I think that's great.
Last night, somebody asked me at that class, they said, how long have you been working on this book? And I said, well, actually about 27 years.
Yeah. You mean in actual time or what it feels like? Yeah.
No, actually in actual time. Basically, I'm pulling from everything I've learned throughout my career. So
sure, you've been working on that one your whole life.
Yep. Well, yeah, I'm not 27, but thank you.
Oh, that's true. That's true. At least your entire professional life. Let's put it that way.
Yes, thank you. Yes, that is correct.
Probably not a lot of childhood memories in there, but your childhood experience plays into
It does.
how you write and what you write about, I think. So, well, I can't wait to read the whole book. I know you've told me a lot about it. Now, regarding today's show, I believe our topic today is why chickens hate snowblowers. And so this is going to be... Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry.
Check your notes, Tony.
I'm sorry. No, in all seriousness, it's how to don't outlive your income. That's an important point. And from my understanding, Mark, developing a sustainable and reliable plan for your retirement comes down to one basic question, which is how can I make my money last as long as I will? I bet you get that one a lot.
That's the number one question we get, and it's really a great question to start the show off with as well. It's really no secret that arriving at your ideal retirement destination requires navigating some pretty challenging financial topography, if I can use, again, our roadmap terminology here. And it kind of starts the basics, and that's, we believe, is Social Security, is how can we maximize that, and when do we file, and how do we file, and things like that. Also minimizing taxes, and then how to leverage certain financial products and investments to help generate income. So really answering your question and the other related questions requires more than just thinking about your finances in a new way. It also means that you think about your financial accounts in a new way. I've used this story before, and I think I touch on it in the book, but it's like the mountain that we talk about. The mountain, going up the mountain toward your goal of retirement, the pinnacle, is relatively simple. Save money, put some money away in the 401k at work, maybe buy some life insurance, occasionally mix up your investments. Not a lot of vital decisions that can't be reversed, but once you reach that pinnacle or get close to it, now you have decisions that have to be made that are really will affect the rest of your financial life, and some of them are irreversible. So it's really a different time of life, and it's important that people understand that.
Well, Mark, I have a question for you. Why is it important to understand how you organize your money? What role does that play?
Well, there are two, I think, big categories when you start thinking about retirement money and investment. I think there's an immediate bucket or buckets, and that's money that needs to be coming from you now in retirement. And then there's future retirement income. And in order to accomplish this, we really need to secure some of the money so that we can generate a steady stream of income, but yet still be involved in the market. We know that savings and checking accounts and CDs do not keep up with inflation, certainly do not keep up with taxes. And so we want to divide it into two broad categories. And those categories are no-so money and hope-so money. And so no-so and hope-so money is really important to make sure that income lasts a lifetime.
Well, maybe you could explain to our listeners exactly what you mean when you say hope-so money and no-so money.
Well, the hope-so money is money that we hope will be there. In other words, it's money that we can expose to risk, because it's money that we understand is not necessarily critical for income. So we divide that off. And some examples of that would be stocks, bonds, mutual funds, variable annuities, REITs, anything that can not only gain money but lose money as well. Even rental houses go in here, gold and silver. So anything that can go up and down. And that's hope-so money. Now, the great thing about hope-so money is that it has great potential for return. Of course, the negative part is that it can, of course, go down, and it makes taking income dangerous.
So even bonds are considered hope-so money. They're even considered a high-risk investment.
Well, they're considered a risk investment. I wouldn't necessarily call them high risk, but they do carry risk. There have been bonds and bond funds that have lost money in certain years. Sure. Other years, they have not kept up with inflation and taxes, and so technically you would lose money that way as well. So
I suppose
there's a place.
Certain municipal bonds, like let's say Detroit, you could lose a lot, right?
You absolutely that is true. You could lose your principal in a situation like that. So you're correct. There is certainly risk involved in any type of investment like that.
Well, can you tell us about no-so money then?
Yeah, the no-so money is money that is low risk. And actually, typically what we'll do with no-so money is we'll put some type of a guarantee or some type of a protection on this money. Some examples of no-so money would be, well, Social Security is your biggest no-so money. It's protected by the faith and credit of the United States government. Government-backed bonds are about as safe as you can get. Treasuries and also fixed income annuities. These are all things that we have some type of a guarantee, some type of an assurance, not only of principal, but also some type of a return. And it's tied to something that gives us some protection. So that's kind of the big bucket of no-so money. And these we can use as no-so money because we know that the principal is going to be there and we know there's going to be some growth associated. Therefore, we can comfortably take income from these buckets, and that creates an income stream that gives the assurance that our money is going to last.
Yeah. And then I would even have a separate category right now with the interest so low that there's another category where it's money where, yes, your principal's protected, but you're not going to make anything. And that's almost a risk right now. Like putting money into a CD used to be one of the safest methods, right? But now it's not, because if you put money into a CD, it doesn't make enough to keep up with inflation, correct?
Yeah, and it's interesting if you look at some of the graphs from past CD rates, even though they may have been higher, 4, 5, 6%, if you look at the economy in those times, we find that interest rates were much higher. So you were paying a lot more for your mortgage, for any loans you had out. And then also inflation tends to run a little bit higher when those kind of rates are higher too. So, it all kind of works together. You can put your money in a CD and get 5%, but you're spending 8 or 9 or 10% on your mortgage, and, you're spending money other places. So, and bonds are earning more in those times too. So it's kind of all relative. We count that kind of money, cash, savings, checking. We kind of count that in a third bucket, and we call that cash flow. So we just kind of don't even count that as hope so and no so, even though we know it's going to be there. Technically, it's losing money every day. So that is our cash flow and emergency backup, and that's just kind of a separate category.
Well, I think you made a great point right there about CDs and about those types of investments and accounts. Well, you know what? Actually, our time is up for this portion of the show, Mark. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we take a quick commercial break?
What I mentioned earlier about the ability to contact us, whether it's to chat with us. Of course, our listeners are always able to schedule a free consultation with us to just discuss their situation and what's going on. So I would say, and of course, if you want to order our book as well, so 2 ways. Our phone number is 770-980-9262, and our website is masterplanyourretirement.com. We actually have a report we can also send out that talks about hope so money and no so money. So if that's something you're interested in as well, just mention that report and we'll get that out to you as well.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mark. We're going to be right back with more from Mark Fricks on Financially Tuned after this.
To hear the rest of the show or for more information, go to masterplanyourretirement.com or call Mark at 770-980-9262 to schedule an appointment.